Hello everyone, today I'm here because something just arrived on my book mail, and I didn't think that it was going to arrive for some time because I ordered it from Waterstones, and usually it takes like quite a while to get to Spain, and so I didn't think that I was going to get it so soon, but nevertheless, here we have House of Sky and Breath, a Crescent City novel by Sarah J. Maas. And last year I read House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, and I absolutely loved it. However, I don't remember a thing about it, so I thought that it would be fun to do a reading vlog, to film a reading vlog for House of Earth and Blood, and then probably in a different blog, because I read really slow, I'm going to do a reading for House of Sky and Breath. So I think that this blog for House of Earth and Blood is going to be spoilery, and then for House of Sky and Breath is going to be spoiler free. So yeah, I'm excited. I've already started. I'm about 15 chapters into House of Earth and Blood, and I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. So I will check with you later with some thoughts about it, because I need to talk about it. Bye bye, see you later. My baby, they look so beautiful together. Okay, I'm so happy right now. This feels like coming home again. We're on chapter 15, page 167, and up until now, everything with Danica has happened, and Bryce is a mess, is a complete mess. She has just met Hunt again after the incident with the demon thing, and it is the scene where she's in her house, in her flat, in her apartment, and Hunt is on the roof of the building in front of hers, and he's like, open the curtains, I want to watch the show, which is like a blind date or something like that, and it is so funny. I don't know why, but I feel like it feels like coming back home, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm appreciating every single one of the characters more, and I'm really falling in love with Room once again, even more the second time around, and I don't know, I'm just really happy, and I'm having a blast, to be honest. I'm having a blast. Okay, so I just wanted to jump in just for 1 second to point something out, because it is something that really, I don't know if it is funny or it gets a little bit annoying at some points, and it is one of the few things that I can say that it is a flaw in this book. But some of the dialogue in this book is like absolutely, I don't know if it is hilarious or it is stupid, downright stupid, because Bryce doesn't stop using the term alpha holes. Alpha holes. And she uses it over and over and over again. I feel like if I put my mind into it and like take care to look at it, I probably would find it like every 3 pages or every 4 or 5 pages. Like, for sure, every single chapter has at least one alpha hole, at least one. So yeah, that is something to note. Let's get to it. Okay, do you see what I mean? Like, sorry for my nails. I have to paint them again. Fucking alcohol. And then just here, make that the king of alcohols. It's just like, this woman cannot stop calling them alcohols. It is so funny to me. I don't know why. The thing else that I wanted to take note of is that the world building is like so unreal compared to her other works. It is like so complex, so detailed, and one thing that I love is how she describes the chimera strings, and I love it. It's just so cute. I don't know. And how Hunt like has a soft spot for it. I'm sorry. Hi guys, I wanted to update you on House of Earth and Blood, and right now I'm about halfway through, more or less, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it like a bit less than the first time around, but I think that it is mainly because of the fact that it is like a mystery thing, and you kind of start learning things while you're reading. And as I have already read it, it is not like a surprise, but I'm still enjoying it, and I'm still very, very excited to finish it and to start the second book. So yeah, right now I am going to go to see my grandma, and then I'm going to go for a walk, and hopefully I will update you a little bit with how I am doing. Okay, so I just finished reading House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, and I didn't update you because I read it in like 2 days, which is crazy because it is like 700 pages, and I didn't think that I was going to read it that fast because I didn't read it that fast the first time around, but this time I was like, I knew the story and I read it that much faster. So I think that I have some theories on what's going to happen on the second book, which I have right here, which is House of Sky and Breath, and I'm going to just jump right into reading it. And I think that I'm going to try and do an update every chapter or every 2 chapters, I think, because there are so many things that I think that are going to happen, and I want to like try to make some theories and things that I think that are going to go down in this book, and I think that is going to be great. So yeah, I think that I'm going to do a spoilery blog, and I'm going to combine this blog, which wasn't really a blog because I didn't vlog that much. It was like a couple of clips, I think. So yeah, but I'm going to do my best to update you like more regularly in this second installment, and afterwards, when I finish it, I think that I'm going to try to do a discussion, maybe in this blog or in the next blog or in the next video, because I'm just going down a rabbit hole of theories and conspiracy theories and things like that. So yeah, and I've heard that the ending of this. Okay, so last night I finished the prologue and I couldn't read anymore. So I was super tired. the previous night I had the Carnival Festival thing here in Spain. I will put a clip so that you see my makeup. I was kind of inspired by Euphoria, but anyways. In this chapter we also learned that they are in Koala, which is in the Banjera place that was ruled by the Archangel Sandiral, who was killed by Hunt at the end of the first book. And we learned that her brother, Sophie's brother, has been disappeared, like has been missing for 3 years. And we also learned that Sophie has set herself up to be caught by the Dreadwolves with some fake documents, and she's interrogated for some time, and they believe that she's just another human who has been set up by her lover to be caught. But we also learned something that I think that it's going to be like one of the main plot lines of the book, which is that Sophie had information that could jeopardize the Stairs rule, and that is mentioned a couple of times. So yeah, we also learn what Sophie and Emil are, which they are like almost extinct race, and they are Thunderbirds, which is basically they are able to absorb power energy from anything, like for example electricity, but they also are able to absorb and use first light, which is super rare. So the rebellion are really trying to get their hands on Sophie's brother as well. And there is a problem, because Sophie, for what we know up until now, we're led to believe that she's not alive anymore, because she has been caught and she is being killed by the Hind. And I don't know what to think about that, because on the one hand I believe that she's dead, because we see how she's been drowned. However, I know I have read many books from this author, and I know that she plays some tricks with your mind, and there's a possibility that Sophie is still alive, and I really hope so, because I was getting to like her. She's like a very strong, very powerful and very messed up character, and those are usually the characters that I like. So yeah, I hope that she's alive, but we don't know up until now. So that was the update, a bit of what I wanted to talk about, and yeah, I will talk to you later. See ya. Okay, so I just finished chapter 1, and in this chapter we're following Bryce and Hunt and Ember and Randall, and they are in the CCB, the Crescent City Ballet, because Juniper is going to perform in the stage to everyone. It's like her opening, like her introduction to the society and all that. And we learn some things. For example, Bryce is kind of a celebrity right now, but like some people like her and some people hate her. For example, the Fae nobility like hate her guts to no end. We also learn that she is working in the face. Okay, okay, so we've learned a couple more things. First off, when Bryce and Hunt return from Rune's place after the party, they find Ethan, who was Connor's brother, almost like barely. He's like beat up on the floor of the apartment, and they learn that Sabine got mad because he gave an interview in which he defended Bryce against Sabine's claims, and he was beat up by his own wolf's den. And so Bryce and Hunt help him and try to heal him, but there is like a lot of tension building up because he didn't treat Bryce very well after Danica and Connor and the pack of devils that were killed. And so yeah, it's difficult because you feel the love that Bryce and Ethan have for each other still, but there's so much that has happened and that has like taken them apart, that you really feel that tension and that sadness, and they talk about Connor, and they talk about the pack of devils, and they talk about the fact that Connor thought that Bryce was his mate, and yeah, it's really sad. But as sad as it is, I think that they're going to make up. After that, we learn that Hypaxia is actually the daughter of a necromancer and a witch, which was the late queen, Hecuba, I think was her name. And Rune has to marry her, but he's not very interested in her. And he's talking with the Autumn King and his cousin, and they are talking about Bryce's engagement, and he's trying to convince his father that that is not a good idea, and that he has to leave Bryce out of it, and that she's with Hunt and whatever. And they basically, the Autumn King and Rune's cousin, say that they only want this cousin to marry Bryce to breed more starborn princes and princesses. So yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit, which we already knew. But now I am in chapter 7. No, chapter, I don't know which chapter it is, but it's like 100 and something pages into it. And we've just had a scene where Hunt and remaining triary of Micah's are meeting the new Archangel, who is called Celestina, and she's very beautiful, and she seems to be nice, but it is a little sus. And Hunt doesn't trust. He doesn't trust her whatsoever, but she seems nice. The problem with all this is that, and because of the fact that Big is at the bottom of the sea, and what was his name, Julian, or I can't remember his name, but the other member of Micah's triary was crucified. They need more angels to be part of Celestina's new triary, and so someone who is very stupid, for what I can see, decides to bring the remaining angels from Sandriel's triary, who are Pollux and Baxian, something like that, to be partners with Naomi, Isaiah, and Hunt, which is absolutely stupid. I don't know who the fuck thought that was a good idea. But we just learned that, and Hunt like just lost it and like tackled Pollux, and we don't know what is going to happen. But it is very intense, and we are just like 100 pages into the story, and it's like 600 pages, no, 800 pages. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm so confused, and I'm so excited because I'm really enjoying it so far. Okay, so I just read another chapter, and this chapter is following Tharion, and he's ordered by the River Queen to find the body of Sophie Renard because she's a Thunderbird, and you know what that means, that she's very powerful and very important. But when he gets there, he finds out that the shackles that were holding her at the bottom of the sea, where she had been killed, or we thought that she was going to be killed, die there, she's not there. And there are two options of what could have happened. First of all, she could have been dead, and another person or people would have retrieved her body before the River Queen and her people got there, or she's alive and she freed herself. And the River Queen is really determined to find her or her brother. So yeah, we also learned that Tharion is engaged to the River Queen's daughter, and she is a fucking stupid little ass bitch. And he is very miserable, but he can't break the engagement of with her because he is scared, and rightfully so. So yeah, things are getting very intense, to say the least. Oh, we also learned that Bryce is working in the Fae archives, and she is very happy there. She really likes it, but she kind of struggles with the fact that she is working for her father, and Amber Quinlan, she doesn't really like the fact that Bryce is working there, understandably, because she hates Bryce's biological father, who is absolutely awful, and nobody likes him, absolutely nobody. And the Autumn King is actually the one who has set up this marriage between Conrad, I don't care, that man and Bryce, and everyone is pissed about that. Okay, you guys, so I wanted to update you a bit earlier, but it was absolutely impossible because I tried, I did my best to read it physically, but it was impossible. I feel like this book is dragging way too long, and so I moved on to the audiobook, and I'm like over halfway through. It's like 16 hours into the book, and I am in chapter like 44, and so many things have happened, and at the same time I feel like nothing, absolutely nothing has happened. I don't know, I'm not that into the Bryce and Hans storyline as I thought that I was going to be, and my favorite storyline so far is Runes and the Hints, because we are learning that Rune is like communicating with this spy master called Daybright, and yeah, there's so much sexual tension, so much, like, you can feel a connection between the two characters. However, I don't feel that connection with Hunt and Bryce as I did in the previous book, and I feel like every time they have a sexual encounter, I find myself laughing. I don't know why, but I can't get into the sexual things. I usually can with other books, but they use terms that don't make sense, and I'm starting to like characters that I didn't think that I was going to start liking. For example, Carmack. I didn't like him at first, and now I'm very much looking forward to learn more about him, as well as Bakshian. Bakshian? I still don't know how to say that. Anyways, I don't know. There's also something about Danika's storyline that I feel like it is dragging a bit too much. They're like Sarah J. Maas is beating a dead horse at this point. I don't feel like keeping so many secrets from Bryce and from everyone is like benefiting her storyline. I don't know. It feels like a bit too convenient, and I don't know. Like everything happens super like fast and at the same time super slow. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not feeling it as much as the previous book. But that said, it is addicting and you kind of want to keep going because you are invested in these characters already and you want to learn what happens. But it feels like a short, every chapter is like, it's like 5-6 pages, but it feels like 70. I don't know why. Anyways, I will try to give you a bit more detail tomorrow, but overall I'm liking the storyline, but not as much as the previous book, as I already said, and the characters are okay. I like the Princess of Hell the most, and Rune is my favorite character. We learned that Ethan is in love with Bryce, which I don't know why Sarah J. Maas thought that was a good idea. It's like everyone is in love with Bryce at this point, and I don't understand it. Bryce is being a bit annoying. She challenges every single person that she comes, like she has an encounter with, and she's like looking for a fight all the time, and I don't understand why. And she's been a bit annoying, to be honest. I feel like you're going to kill me for saying this, but I don't know. I like her, but at the same time I don't. I liked her better in the House Earth and Shadow, Earth and Blood. Houses with Earth and Blood. Anyways, that's kind of it. I will update you with more thoughts tomorrow because I'm trying to remember things, but so much has happened since the last time that I updated you. I don't know with you guys what I'm going to think about this book at the end. It's been a chore to finish. I don't know. Okay, so I just needed to like show you this, and like you need to listen to this line because it is absolutely beautiful. Rune couldn't move from the floor as the hand unsheathed her own slim blade, as her beckoning scent floated to him, a scent that was somehow entwined with his own. It was very faint, like a shadow, so vague that he doubted anyone else would realize the underlying scent belonged to him. And her scent had been familiar from this because Hypaxia was her half-sister. He realized family ties didn't lie. He had been wrong about her being in House of Sky and Breath. The Hind would claim total allegiance to Earth and Blood. But that's not all. Just listen. The golden-haired female, Lydia, Day, only said to the harpy, "Not if I kill you first." I'm done. The book was enough. Like, reading this fucking beast of a book, it was worth it just for this reveal and this second. I don't know. I love this pairing. I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm in love. Anyways, see you later. Okay, so I have like 30 pages left in the book, and many things a lot has happened, and I've been bored throughout the entire thing. I'm not going to lie. The only storyline that I'm absolutely digging into and that I would love to have a book like dedicated to is Rune's storyline. I just learned something that made my heart like so happy, and like it gave me I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you know. And that is Rune and behind Lydia. I gotta get it together. I just love them. They're my OTP, like they're perfect for each other, and it's so sad because they're on opposite sides of this like fucking thing, but they're perfect and they're beautiful, and their chemistry and their banter and their angst of it all. Oh my god, they're perfect. I just wanted to say that. I will update you when I finish the book, and I will give my final thoughts and like a bit of like a discussion, if you will, about what happened in the book and why I think that it was pretty disappointing overall. But I just wanted to say that it's like way too long, and it didn't need to be this long whatsoever. Okay, so I just finished House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas, and I put a clip like me freaking out, like the first reaction after I finished it, and yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I felt like super excited because of the next book that is going to be, but I also felt fucking frustrated. Very frustrated and mad at Sarah J. Maas. And please don't come for me, but I feel like we have been played. We have been played because the ending is good. It's a good ending, but the book drags. It was so long and it dragged out so much, and we didn't need so many scenes of Bryce and Hunt having sex, which is okay, but just I would have been okay with a couple of them, but they were like every 2 or 3 chapters there was one of those scenes, and it was just a bit too much. I'm so sorry, Mom. Just got home and I had to help her with some things. But anyways, so as an overview, I gotta say that I enjoyed the book, and I enjoyed the thing that Bryce has to do in order to try to kill or finish or expel or like take the Asteria out of Midgard, and she has to jump to another world where she thinks that she's going to hell, but instead she's going to Prithian, and she meets Reese and all the others from the inner circle. However, I'm quite pissed because I didn't want to read A Court of Silver Flames because I don't really like Nesta, and I feel like now if I want to continue on with this series I feel obligated to read that book, and I cannot imagine the people who have not read the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, because they're not going to be able to understand what the fuck is going on with the characters that we are introduced to in the last, literally the last page of the book. Not like second to last page of the book or something like that. It's I like it, but at the same time I feel like there were some timelines that we didn't need to follow. For example, Therian and sometimes Ethan. I like Ethan and I like Therian, but sometimes their storylines were just a little bit too much. I didn't feel as interested in those as I was in, for example, Rooms. I'm in love with Room and I'm in love with Lydia and Dean. I'm absolutely sure that they are mates, and I don't know. Look, another thing, was it necessary for Tristan Flynn to find a girl that he likes, for example, like the dragon girl or the wolf girl, who is supposed to be the Fendir heir? What the fuck is going on with that? I don't understand. Was it necessary? I don't think that was necessary whatsoever. Sarah J. Maas has this problem where she needs to pair every single one of her characters with another person. For example, every single person in this book has to be paired up. Celestina with Hypaxia, Rune with Lydia, which I'm not mad about, but anyways. Bryce and Hand, Fury and Juniper, which I'm not mad either, but you get what I mean. Who else? Cormac and Sophie, Danica and Vaxian. Which, what the fuck? Why would she hide that from Bryce? Like, they're painted to be this perfect friendship, and they had to be. I don't understand how they can be portrayed as this perfect friendship when she was hiding so much from Bryce. I don't understand that, and I don't think I'm going to understand it ever, like ever. I hated that Cormac had to die. What the fuck? That was so cruel. First of all, his girlfriend dies, Sophie, and then he has to die and sacrifice himself, and Bryce breaks up with him, and he's humiliated in front of the entire Fae court. Poor guy. I mean, I liked him. Anyways, who else was paired up in this book? I think those were all the characters that were paired up. Well, Pollux and Lydia, which fucking Pollux, he can go to hell. Well, not hell, because they're good. I don't know. I'm just so conflicted about this book. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I rounded it up because of the ending. That I think it was good. The ending was good, but it was not worth the humongous length of this book. And because of Rune. I would have been happy if all the chapters were from Rune's perspective and we got a little bit of Bryce and Hand, like every so often. I don't know. Something else that I want to say. What's up with Sarah J. Maas in the sex scenes? Because there was one chapter where Hand acted as a vibrator. He used his thunder thing to. It feels like the author has never had sex, to be honest. I feel like she has never had sex. Or it just feels like that when you read one of her sex scenes. I just could not stop laughing at these sex scenes. And I thought I should be like, Nope, that was not my thing. And I usually like sex scenes, but it was super awkward. Anyways, that was kind of the overview. I don't know if you want me to do more in-depth review of this book. These are my first impressions. like, I don't know what else to say. I'm baffled. I liked some things, I hated some others, and I don't know. I'm excited for the next book, but I'm so confused. I'm really confused. So yeah, give it a thumbs up if you liked, and see you later. Subscribe if you want to.